tasmai Shri Guru Namo Vishwapadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bhuter Mahadbhiryamah Puro Vibhu Nirmaya Shete Yatamusha Purusha Bhunte Gunan Shodasha Shodashatmaka Solang Krisishta Bhagavan Vachamsi Me Shri Krishna Sharanam Sharanagatam Gatha Amritam Satata Pipatam Bhakti Vedanta Marga Panthanam Sarvaloka Rishideva Channa Prasannam Sarvaloka Rishideva Channa Prasannam. Hare Krishna, dear Prabhus and Matajis, welcome to our Srīmad Bhāgavatam study session. So we are studying the second canto of Srīmad Bhāgavatam, the cosmic manifestation, looking at the first chapter, the first step in God realization. And we are about to hear what is a momentous occasion when Shukadeva Goswami is about to speak. So it is mentioned, Shri Vishnu Shravane Parīkṣit Abhivad Vaiyasaki Kirtane. So Sri Vishnu Shravane Parīkṣit. So Parīkṣit Maharaj is the best example of Shravanam, the most important and the first part of Bhakti Yoga, devotional service. And Vaiyasaki Kirtane. And Vaiyasaki, Shukadeva Goswami, the son of Vyasadeva, who is also known as Badarayanir, is glorious for glorifying the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And these are the Uttama Shrota and Uttama Vakta, the best of all hearers and the best of all speakers. And these two are also known as Vishnu Rata Parīkṣit Maharaj, because Krishna protected him in the womb, and Vaiyasakir Shukadeva Goswami is known as Brahma Rata, because again Krishna protected him in the womb as well, and promised him that he would never be allured by the illusory energy of his. And Parīkṣit Maharaj was saved from the Brahmastra of Ashwatthama. And when Parīkṣit Maharaj was in the womb of his mother, he saw the beautiful smiling face of the Lord, and he was looking for that same face throughout his life, whoever he came across. One who has a rati always towards Krishna and he's fully detached, that is Parīkṣit Maharaj, despite being a Rajarishi. And the other, Shukadeva Goswami, is fully attached to Krishna in form of glorifying him through Srīmad Bhāgavatam. And obviously, through the above the ashram system, he is Paramahamsa, and he is fully detached and no tinge of material attachments. So when the best of all speakers, Shukadeva Goswami, and the best of all hearers, Parīkṣit Maharaj, they come together, then there is perfect questions and perfect answers. And this is how Shukadeva Goswami starts by answering the questions that Parīkṣit Maharaj has posed. So let's just go back a bit and hear the questions of Parīkṣit Maharaj again. So in chapter 19 of the first canto, on verse 37, two questions are asked. So Parīkṣit Maharaj says to Shukadeva Goswami, Atha prichhami samsiddhim. Therefore, I beg to inquire some siddhim, the way of achieving perfection in this life. Yoginam paramam gurum. Of the saints, paramam, the supreme guru. So he addresses Shukdev Goswami as that you are even the spiritual masters of all the saints in the assembly. Purushasyeha yat karyam. Whatever in life of the people in general, karyam, what duty they have to do. That's the first question. And then the second, mriyamanasya sarvataha, especially those who are about to die. And then the second question, or the second part of the question, he says, for those people who are about to die, and in all circumstances, yat shrotavyam atho japyam, what should they hear? What should they chant? Yat kartavyam nripi prabhu, what activities they should execute. Nirbhi, people in general, what should they do that? Oh Master, please explain. Smartavyam, what should they remember? Bhajaniyam, what or who should they worship? Bruhi, please explain. Yadva, what it may be. Viparyayam, against the principle. And also, please explain what these people should not do. Viparyayam means what should not be done, what is not desirable, what will give the opposite result. The opposite result is that what will make people to come again into this material world, into the cycle of birth and death. So Shukdev Goswami, after hearing this question, he is beginning to answer. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Trishuko Vacha Varyane Shate Prashna Krito Loka Hitam Nipa Atmavid Sammata Pumsam Shrotavyadishu Yaparaha. Word to word. Shri Shukavacha. Shri Shukdev Goswami said, Variyan, glorious, Eshaha, this, Te, your, Prashnaha, questions. So these questions that we have just looked at, Shukdev Goswami glorifies the very questions itself. Why? Kritaha, made by you, Loka Hitam, beneficial for all men. Because the answers to these questions will be beneficial for everyone. Nipa, O King, why these questions and answers to this question will be beneficial for all men? Atma with transcendentalist. So we have to understand this word, Atma. So it comes from Atma. Atma means spirit soul. And one who is Atma is always on the platform of spirit soul and transcends the material body and the material nature. Sammataha, approved. So the transcendentalists, those who are always situated in the tattva of Atma, always approve such questions and such answers, pumsam, of all men. And therefore, shrotavyadishu, in all kinds of hearing, yaha, what is paraha, the supreme. So the subject matter of your question is superior and supreme and above all kinds of hearing. Translation by Islamic Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Sri Shukdev Goswami said, my dear king, your question is glorious because it is very beneficial to all kinds of people. The answer to this question is the prime subject matter for hearing, and it is approved by all transcendentalists. Atma. Purport by Srila Prabhupada, please hear. Even the very question is so nice that it is the best subject matter for hearing. Simply by such questioning and hearing, one can achieve the highest perfectional stage of life. This is a wonderful paper by Srila Prabhupada. Because Lord Krishna is the original person, any question about him is original and perfect. Earlier on in the first canto, Sudha Goswami says and glorifies the questions that Shaunak Rishis have asked. And he says to them that Sadhu Prishto Maha, Sadhu Prishto um, no, I think I've forgotten that verse. But therein he says that Yat Kritha Krishna Samprashno Yenatma Suprasiddhati, because he says Sadhu Prishta Muniyaha, that the sages, your questions are beautiful because Yat Kritha Krishna Samprashno, because it is in relation to Krishna. And therefore, it has the ability to satisfy the soul, the yearnings of the soul. So Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that the highest perfection of life is to achieve the transcendental loving service of Krishna. Because questions and answers about Krishna elevate one to transcendental position, the questions of Mahārāja Parīkṣit about Krishna philosophy are greatly clarified. Mahārāja Parīkṣit wanted to absorb his mind completely in Krishna, and such absorption can be effected simply by hearing about the uncommon activities of Krishna. For instance, in the Bhagavad Gita, it is stated that simply by understanding the transcendental nature of Lord Krishna's appearance, disappearance, and activities, one can immediately return home back to Godhead and never come back to this miserable condition of material existence. It is very auspicious, therefore, to hear always about Krishna. So Mahārāja Parīkṣit requested Shukadeva Goswami to narrate the activities of Krishna so that he could engage his mind in Krishna. The activities of Krishna are non-different from Krishna himself. As long as one is engaged in hearing such transcendental activities of Krishna, he remains aloof from the conditional life of material existence. The topics of Lord Krishna are so auspicious that they purify the speaker, the hearer, and the inquirer. They are compared to the Ganges waters, which flow from the toe of Lord Krishna. Wherever the Ganges waters go, they purify the land and the person who waits in them. Similarly, Krishna Katha, or topics of Krishna, are so pure that wherever they are spoken, the place, the hearer, the inquirer, the speaker, and all concerned become purified. Jai Bhakti Vedanta Purports Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Such a wonderful purport by Srila Prabhupada. We should read and hear this purport again and again. So Shukadeva Goswami begins by glorifying the very question of Parīkṣit Maharaj. Variyan eshate prashnaha. O king, your question itself is glorious. Krita loka hitam nipa. Loka hitam, it will be beneficial for all men. Because Atma, it relates to the spirit soul. When in London, my Guru Maharaj, when he wasn't connected with ISKCON in downtown London, when he was walking about, he saw that the devotees are chanting on the streets, Hare Krishna. They're wearing dhotis, kurtas, the ladies were wearing saris, and big procession of Harinam was going on. And first time when my Guru Maharaj looked at this Harinam procession, he became quite impressed that this is our culture, my culture, and these Westerners are practicing it. They're glorifying Krishna. So he became very intrigued and he started going to the Soho Street temple. And there he became acquainted with Srila Prabhupada's books. And still, he was quite a newcomer. But he heard that Srila Prabhupada is coming to UK. And at that time, he was in quite an influential position. He was the president of the Gujarat Samaj of UK. And that is quite a big position because there are lots of Gujaratis, and Gujaratis amongst Indians make up quite a large population of UK. So he actually requested that he would organize a program for Srila Prabhupada, and if Srila Prabhupada can come and speak. So somehow that arrangement was made, and Srila Prabhupada came to the Gujarat Samaj and to deliver discourse. And Srila Prabhupada started his discourse by saying that whenever we meet our family members, our friends, we ask questions. We ask questions, how are you? How is your business going? Is your money making okay? How is your health? Are your children okay? However, Prabhupada said, we don't ask the real questions. We never ask, how far have you progressed, my friend, in stopping or ending the cycle of birth and death, to make sure that this is your last birth? How far have you progressed in this matter? So when my Guru Maharaj heard this, the simple words but potent words, immediately it struck the core of his heart and his whole life changed. And from that day, although initially he was inclined, from that day he became, internally at least, dedicated and surrendered follower of Srila Prabhupada. It takes a moment to inspire anyone in Krishna consciousness. And these 5 to 6 verses that Vyasaki Shukdev Goswami is speaking now, if we can really put an ear and our eyes to reading of it, it can really strike our heart, because these are very potent words. And Srila Prabhupada's papers are amazingly honest and amazingly like a mirror. It makes us look the span of our lives as to what is expected of a human being and what are we doing. We are asking questions day in and day out which are completely irrelevant. Why? Because it is not Atmavid. It is in relation to the body only. It is Sharira-based questions. In our Burbank temple, we have a nice family. They come in every week for the program. And one Mataji, and the Mataji in the family, she has come and approached me a few times asking questions. And the line of a questioning is based around Sharira or body. So she asks questions. She's devotee. She chants Krishna's name. But still, that misconception is still there of what is what. Not everyone, what to speak of her. Actually, most of us struggle in this matter that, yes, we are not this body, we are spirit soul. So her question is like, why did Krishna allow Abhimanyu to be killed? His own sister's son, Krishna did not save. Isn't that cruel? So that was, first time I was asked that question. So we tried to explain it to her. And then the next time, again, question. The fourth time, third time, again, question. But most recently, again, she came and asked some question again. And this time, Krishna inspired me to be a bit blunt. So I said to her, Mataji, who is asking this question? And she was stunned by that question of mine. She said, of course, I am asking. And I said, but who are you? Is your body asking the question? Is your mind asking the question? And then she said, well, my mind is asking the question because the question arose in my mind. Then I replied, Mataji, but your mind is material. Krishna says, Bhumi apano vayu kam manor buddhireva cha ahankaran idam bhinnam prakritim ashtadha. Mind is material. So any question the mind asks, it will be material. So how can the question be perfect? Then she was stunned for a while. And then I said, Mataji, when the question is asked from the perspective of the soul, then you will get the correct answer. Correct answer meaning that you will be able to do something practical which will lead you towards the path of realization of the soul and loving service of Krishna. Any other questions apart from that will not satisfy you. As Sudha Goswami in the first chapter says, Yat Kritha Krishna Samprashno Yenatma Suprasitati. Only questions in relation to Krishna, Yenatma Suprasitati, will satisfy the yearning of the soul. So, yes, what questions are we asking? Is it in relation to the soul? Are we really in cognition of this fact that we are not this body, we are the soul? And Shukdev Goswami, without wasting any time, he gets right to the nit and grit of it. Firstly, he clarifies, your question is beautiful. Varyane shate prashna. And why it is beautiful? Kata loka hito nipaha. It is loka hitam. It will be beneficial for everyone. As Srila Prabhupada says in the paper, when a great soul like Shukdev Goswami speaks, answering question of another great soul, Parīkṣit Maharaj, then the place, the speaker, the inquirer, and everyone who is hearing the answers to this great conversation, everyone benefits. And we are the beneficiaries of these questions that Shukdev Goswami is answering, that Sud Goswami heard and again narrated it in Naimisharanya, that Srila Prabhupada has documented and written down in Srimad Bhagavatam in English language, translated and provided even greater explanation so that our puny Kali Yuga intelligence can understand this properly. And when we attentively hear to such questions and answers, then all good happens to us. Otherwise, the problems that we are facing, it is said, it's superficial. Anartha, upashamam sakshat. Prabhupada very nicely translates this, that material miseries of the living entity which are superfluous to him can be directly mitigated by linking process of devotional service. We are relating our problems to the body, but that is superfluous. It is not really a problem. the nature of the body is that it will deteriorate and succumb to death eventually. But the main problem is that we are not realizing we are spirit soul. So Shukdev Goswami is targeting the core of the problem. And Vyasadeva says, but the mass of people do not know this, that simply by doing devotional service, all problems which are superfluous can be mitigated. Therefore, the learned Vyasadeva compiled Vedic literature, this Srimad Bhagavatam, which is in relation to supreme truth. Lokasya na jananto vidvams. So lokasya, people in general do not know this. So this Srimad Bhagavatam, therefore, is the most glorious scripture. And actually, I encourage these the subsequent speakers, at least for the next 6 days, let's recite all these 6 verses. And let's do that now and hear their translation. And so every day we meditate on these 6 verses and try to memorize so that we can remember it again and again, the message of these verses. Let's do this recitation. So in the first verse, yes, Shri Shukal Vacha Varyaneshate Prashna Krita Loka Hito Nipa Atma Vid Sammata Pumsam Shrotavyadishu Yaparaha Shrotavyadi Nirajendra Ninam Santi Sahasrasaha Appashyatam Tatvam Griheshu Grahamedhinam Nidaya Hiyate Naktam Vyavayena Chavayah Diva Chartheyaya Rajan Kutumba Bharanena Va Deha Patya Kalatradishva Atma Sanyeshva Satsvapi Tesham Pramattu Nidhanam Pashyannapi Na Pashyati Tasmad Bharata Sarvatma Bhagavan Ishvaro Hari Shrotavya Kirtitavyascha Smaratavyas Ichatavayam Etavan Sankhya Yogabhyam Swadharma Parinishthaya Janma Labha Para Pumsam Ante Narayana Smritihi. Let's quickly look at the translations in sequence. So, of the first verse, of course, Sri Shukdev Goswami said, my dear king, your question is glorious because it is very beneficial to all kinds of people. The answer to this question is the prime subject matter for hearing, and it is approved by all transcendentalists. Those persons who are materially engrossed, being blind to the knowledge of ultimate truth, have many subject matters for hearing in human society, O Emperor. The lifetime of such an envious householder is passed at night either in sleeping or in sex indulgence, and in the daytime either in making money or maintaining family members. Persons devoid of Atma Tattva do not inquire into the problems of life, being too attached to fallible soldiers like the body, children, and wife. Although sufficiently experienced, they still do not see their inevitable destruction. They think they will never die, basically. O descendant of King Bharata, therefore one who desires to be free from all miseries must hear about, glorify, and also remember the personality of Godhead, who is the super soul, the controller, and the savior from all miseries. The highest perfection of human life, achieved either by complete knowledge of matter and by spirit, by practice of mystic powers, or by perfect discharge of occupational duty, is to remember the personality of Godhead at the end of life. ante Narayana smritihi. So in these 6 verses, Shukadeva Goswami has already answered questions of Mahārāja Parīkṣit. One should do, what one should do, and what one should not do. And he goes on elaborating further. Any questions or comments, Prabhus or Mataji's? And would like to wish His Grace Gaura Prema Prabhu. It's his appearance day today. Prabhuji is a silent seva, always working behind the scenes and making all the arrangements at harekrishnatemple. So all the devotees, please wish him that he receives blessings of Lord Krishna, Srila Prabhupada, his Guru Maharaj, and all the Vaishnavas. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for your services. And we'll conclude here, and Krishna willing, we'll see you all tomorrow. Jai Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.